Texas lawmakers introduced bill proposing to establish two Republican lawmakers from Texas, Senator Brian Hughes and Representative Mark D'Orazio, have introduced legislation to create a gold-backed digital currency that could be enacted by the state legislature. The policymakers believe that this currency could greatly benefit the Lone Star State and, as an alternative digital currency, it could provide Texas residents with the ability to circumvent a central bank digital currency, CBDC. A gold-backed digital currency. The gold standard has long been removed from the United States.
Propose a law to ban CBDCs in his state even before the thing exists. CBDCs, obviously central bank digital currencies. They've sort of become a boogeyman in some corners of the crypto world, and now apparently on the national political stage. He actually even called them sort of the Big Brother's digital dollar. So Big Brother there alluding to 1984 and to widespread surveillance of the U.S. citizenry. Anyway, this is interesting to see CBDCs find a national political spotlight with a Republican hopeful, I think, in the 2024 presidential campaign. So this is wild. CBDCs getting fully politicized. I'm going to toss it to Will for his thoughts. What do you think?
Yeah, this is really weird. I didn't expect this to actually be like an issue on states' rights front. I mean, it's been sort of a Republican hallmark since the South flipped in the 1960s, and they've really pushed the states' rights issues, and that's seeming to be like the next states' rights thing is the CBDCs or the currency, right? And another history corner, there's a long history in the United States of individual states trying to vie against the federal government and its ability to enact a different or form of currency on all the 50 states combined. So this is a long history within the United States of being a hot button issue. On the DeSantis front, I think that's really where this is coming about. I think DeSantis is pushing this issue forward because in 2024, CBDCs could be a key tenet of either party's platform, right? It's going to be in their playing set. Hey, we are pro CBDC or anti CBDC. I think that could really be a thing here. And Republicans, I think, are pretty anti-CBDC. We've seen a lot of different Republicans come out against it, including Tom Emmer, who's the head of the blockchain caucus in DC. On the Democratic front, they seem to be a little bit more pro. I wouldn't say all the way pro. Like there's some Democrats who are definitely not necessarily pro CBDC, but the Biden administration is investigating using CBDCs. And we have this Fed Now program coming out in the summer, which mimics a lot of what a CBDC could look like. So to see DeSantis throw this out there, on one hand, it is sort of states' rights thing with Florida being a pretty deep red at this point, but I think it really just bleeds into what he's looking for in 2024, possibly running against Joe Biden. I'll throw it over to you, Wendy.
I think that this is actually a good thing. Another comment that I will make, because I pay attention to what people say on all social media platforms, and I'm on TikTok, and I talk about a CBDC often. And up until the banking crisis happened, people were saying, no, we don't want a CBDC. It's bad. We don't want it, etc. Oh, my hair is all crazy in the back. I love it. Anyways, but now I'm starting to see people say, we want Fed Now, we want a CBDC, we need it, the banking system is so flawed, this is going to fix it. So the brainwashing is working 100%. And I don't agree with DeSantis on all his policies, but I do agree with him on this. I think his CBDC is dangerous, it is detrimental. And they have been working on studying a CBDC since before 2018. And I think there's a program from NIST where they were studying Bitcoin to possibly be a CBDC. But again, with the banking collapse in the United States, this is just a perfect storm to kind of usher in a CBDC. And a lot of people don't understand what's at stake here. And of course, because the United States loves to pick blue or red, they just can't look at both parties and pick things that they like from them or things that they dislike. They just are automatically so negative. People are going to automatically assume that this is a red issue, and it's just going to cause a lot more separation in the U.S. when we should all be fighting together against the CBDC because they are dangerous.
But they're convenient. The government can airdrop me money into my account with a CBDC
so you
and my
take
taxes.
Bribes? So you
and
take
they can
bribes?
just tax me. No,
so
it's called
bribes?
It's called like aid payments and stuff like that. Remember when COVID hit and everybody got checks? So wait, if you received a stimmy check, you've been bribed by the U.S. government. I fundamentally disagree.
We actually didn't cash ours because, my daughter's father was very, 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 very much against it.
Well, I bought Bitcoin, and I'm up quite a bit, so I think you should have cashed in on that. I want to go back to what we're talking about with the states' rights thing, because I think it is interesting here. It kind of bleeds into what you're saying, Wendy, is the fact that we could have just different states issue their own CBDCs. Like that's sort of like a really off kilter idea here, but it does sort of like bleed into what DeSantis is saying here, and the fact that like they're anti CBDC because they want to have like this pro Florida stance that represents their rights. And what if we see a world where other states are pro CBDC, and what do they want their currencies to look like? So I think like this headline and coming from them really just comes from the fact that like people are going to have different political takes on money going into the next 20, 30 years because of what tokenization allows us to do. And this